Up in the ring. Let's listen to Marty deliver the introduction.
Next match of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is for the world's heavyweight title. 2 out of 3 falls, 60-minute time limit. The challenger, wearing red trunks, weighing in at 242 pounds, from Atlanta, Georgia, the Southwest heavyweight champion, Dick Slater. Wearing white trunks, weighing in at 250 pounds, from Beverly Hills, California, the world's heavyweight champion, Nick Bockwinkel.
Yes, for the world's heavyweight title and that huge belt, which the AWA recognizes, worldwide champion Nick Bockwinkel just returned from defending his championship in Europe, defeated the European champion in Bremen, Germany, and feels pretty good about that. Mixture of Greco-Roman and catch-as-catch-can wrestling. Dick Slater, the champion of the Southwest, and we have this battle now looming as a solid test of both men. Now, the thing to remember about this bout is that the man who wins this bout will be the world's champion and will defend his title on May 14th in the Sam Houston Coliseum against Junkyard Dog, one of the toughest and most colorful contenders in the wrestling game. And there's a hammerlock. He went about it the long way around, and he come up with it the hard way and was able to get that arm solidly up behind the back. Man on his face is Nick Bockwinkel, and in behind him, also prone position, is Dick Slater. Notice how Slater moved up there to capture that arm. And now, with a hammerlock and with that arm captured, he is moving in to try to pin, but Nick come up there with that powerful neck of his into a bridge, and Dick Slater bounced on his middle, and champion. Yes, perhaps, but he didn't feel like a champion when he just had the wind in the guts knocked out of him that time. And Bockwinkel decides that outside the ring is a good place to be, and the crowd is hollering for Slater to let him have it. What a smash that was, I'll tell you. Just drove all the air out of Bockwinkel and gave Slater his best advantage of the night in a match that has just gone for a very few minutes. No falls as yet, and the test right now is one of strength as they lock hands, and this is a favorite hold of wrestlers who want to be able to prove that not only are they smarter than their opponent and more agile, but they are stronger. But in this case, Dick Slater used that headbutt and used it to great advantage. And underneath, a fighting effort of the champion to avoid being defeated in this first fall of this battle. So Nick Bockwinkel, who has been known to hang on to his title with a combination of skill and luck and a willingness to run when the going got tough. He says that is the only way he can remain champion. Because if you block the runs, you also put a guy into problem territory. Head scissor for Dick Slater. Now you keep in mind that our wrestling will be on Friday, May 14th. A stupendous card, the greatest wrestling card ever. And I've been in wrestling 50 years to put together a card like this as a crowning achievement of 50 years. And that's the way it's going to be on May 14th. Drops him. Oh, man. He come in there. There's the one. There's two. And Dick Slater from underneath starts to squirm and to push and to lift him. He's got him wrapped up in a small package, but you've got to hold him in a small package. And a dive by Bockwinkel, and they're going for the pin, but neither one of them was able to make it, and we almost had Bockwinkel in our lap. And that is not exactly my preference. Nick Bockwinkel, rugged, yes. His father was same type, a man who knew his wrestling well and stayed in top condition, wrestled all the big names. Nick's father, Warren, lost his ear in a wrestling match one night and fortunately was rushed to the hospital, and they performed surgery and sewed it back on again. We're talking about 40 years ago when this happened, and the art of sewing limbs and other things back on wasn't quite as advanced as it was.
5 minutes into the match.
But he saved his ear and still has it on his head. Side headlock for Bockwinkel. Here he comes at you. Solid smash. And Dick Slater, who is a hot favorite with the fans, came in there for a leg scissor. He comes up with that bar toe hold, and he's got a good one. Bockwinkel maneuvering around, trying his best now to get a solid grip that can get him out of trouble. And the reverse face lock is about to do it. The trouble with a hold like that is that you pull at a man's face with that big forearm like Nick Bockwinkel is doing. He hangs onto a foot, and it's just who has the gall to hang on the longest. In this case, it was Bockwinkel, and Slater recognizes another opportunity. Slater is a sharpshooter with those headbutts and those slashes. And there's another one. He upended him for fair. Top, Dick Slater. Side headlock, front headlock rather. Dick Slater leans in there and hangs on to it. Referee Jack Howell moving around, watching each change of the holds to make sure that when it does change, it maintains its legality, meaning that it shouldn't turn into a chokehold. Ooh, that driving shoulder. You hold on to those ropes, you pull them, you drive him in there. There's no place to go because he's up against the turnbuckle. And a solid smashing. And Bockwinkel did something very uncharacteristic of a thinking champion. He rushed in there and missed his target. And as Slater senses the opportunity, you see him now trying to kick that shoulder often enough, hard enough to register on Bockwinkel. He's going for the pile driver, and he can't get him up. Back body drop. Bockwinkel on top. There's one, there's two, but he couldn't hold him. There's that front headlock again. And again, he goes for the lift. And Slater blocks him by leaning down. One thing is certain, no matter who wins this match, no matter who wins this, walks out of the ring with his title and the belt for the AWA superiority, Junkyard Dog is going to give him a battle of his life on Friday, May the 14th. Of that we are certain. No matter where you watch this program, may we tell you that if you're coming to Houston, make that weekend time that you do come, and you'll be glad you did. On bar, Slater doing the holding. And Bockwinkel, as he turns into him, tries to protect the elbow, because that's the danger of an arm bar, is that it's going to get the part of the arm that bends and work against it. And Bockwinkel, as he moves in, looks for something to grab and finds it. Smash. He caught him coming in and laid that fist. His fist disappeared into Dick Slater's middle. And there's another one, this time by Slater. And Slater knows how to make a fist disappear too. And he bounces on him and tries, but didn't make it. He tried to pin him, and he put a stop to Nick Bockwinkel's getaway plans, believe me. Hammerlock. That was the opening hold of this match, was the hammerlock. Slater knows a good hold when he sees it. And he also knows that Bockwinkel is susceptible to it. 10 minutes have gone by. This is the first fall. Hammerlock, and Bockwinkel may be forced to capitulate. The referee's asking him. He's saying no, but as the hold is applied, Bockwinkel may have to change his mind. Nick is nose down in that canvas, and this is the kind of a hold makes you think very, very carefully about giving in. The crowd trying to encourage Slater. They're crying. They're telling him to break it off and hit him with a bloody end. They are screaming for him to break it. They want Dick Slater to win this match, whether they want him to wrestle Junkyard Dog or not. They want him to beat Nick Bockwinkel. So Nick is in trouble. He uses his foot underneath that arm to hold it and pull it and jerk at it. And he gets a long free fall as he does it. And Bockwinkel trying now to emphasize the fact that he is not giving up. As Bockwinkel said, I didn't become champion by giving up, and I didn't become champion to give up. So he may change his mind. Lots of times it's better to sacrifice one fall and live the fight again than it is to be injured in a fall as he could be right now. Slater has that arm wrapped up in a scissor. You see him putting that extra added pressure on there. Oh, the drive that he gets with that grip. And as Bockwinkel squirms around, he's looking for some, there he is, that's what he's looking for. Get that foot out of the rope. The referee says there's enough of him out of the rope, and I'll tell you, that'll raise a Charlie horse on your arm and any muscle it hits. So Bockwinkel is fighting with the arm that hasn't been held in a hammerlock. And as he starts swinging, he was finding fertile territory. He drove Slater's head into the canvas, but Slater doesn't seem to mind. Cue ball. Found it. In there with that same drive, and Nick Bockwinkel is off on the solid, cold concrete. And Slater is ready for another driving move. He caught him. A carom shot, and as the referee tries to get Slater out of the way, here's Slater moving outside. He wants the champion back into the ring. No, he wants him to give him an atomic drop. He did. Bockwinkel is on the floor. The second hovering over him. The referee now getting ready to make that count. And here is Nick getting ready to try to get back up in that ring, but he could step into a hornet's nest right now and lose this first fall. And believe me, the first fall is an important one in any match, most important in a championship match. So Bockwinkel is down, and Slater takes him into the ring, sets him up, and oh, what a hard smash that was. A hard driving head-on smash. And Slater recovers first. Bockwinkel has not yet recovered and beats another head-on, but the crotch hold, the lift, the slam, and here is Slater looking to drop in on him. Well, he was going to drop in on him with his knee. It didn't work out that way. Slater landed solidly on the canvas, and there's the foot. 15-minute mark, and Bockwinkel steps in, figure four leg lock, and pours it to him. He pours down on this leg-breaking hold, a figure four leg lock. It's a tough hold to get out of. Many people say it's impossible. Others say there is no hold that can't be broken. This is the kind of a hold that's broken best by not getting into it. And Nick puts the pressure on, pours it to him. Listen to the fans. Listen to that noise. Listen to that enthusiasm for Dick Slater as they scream in his favor. Try to get him to move out, and he made the ropes. And outside, Bockwinkel pursues the opportunity to injure that knee. Leg lock in itself is a great way to injure a knee, but he followed it up. So outside we've got Bockwinkel using that rope snap. He's top man. There it is. And
the winner, ladies and gentlemen, in 15 minutes, 16 seconds for the first fall, Nick Bockwinkel.
The first fall goes to Nick Bockwinkel, AWA World's Heavyweight Champion. And we'll be back in a moment. We'll have more action for you after we have this word from the studio.
15 seconds left. 15. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And there's the bell as the countdown proceeded, and Bockwinkel gets after that leg, determined to follow up on it. He knows that his best chance of winning lies right in that leg, and he is kicked off. Slater is hurt, but Slater is fighting. And Slater wants time to get that leg functioning again. And he got a couple of beautiful blows in there that ought to spell time as far as he's concerned. Slater smells that title, but he is a fall behind, and he is hurt in the leg. He's going to have to do something about it. He has got to turn the tide of this match, and there goes Bockwinkel. He landed squarely off on that concrete, and there's Slater trying to follow him and to do something about it. Dick Slater, and he pounded him unmercifully with that leg. Oh! Bockwinkel knew he was caught in it. There's that diving fall-away headbutt that he uses so well, and this could be the answer. A limping Dick Slater comes in to lay that hold in there again. There's a foot over the rope. The referee is tolling the count for Nick Bockwinkel. And as Slater moves in, he's going for a cartwheel slam, and he manages to make use of it. Dick Slater using the hold that Bockwinkel used on him. And this, of course, is the hold that Slater learned so well from Terry Funk and Dory Funk. He pours it in there hard, tight. The option goes to the champion. He knows how that hold feels. He knows that he has used it. He knows that he has not very many moments to stay in that thing before he makes up his mind. Otherwise, it will be made up for him. And he will not be using that leg again. It's Bockwinkel lets pride take its own gathering. And here is Slater trying now to slam into Nick Bockwinkel, and he's giving him a taste of his own medicine. And this crowd here is solidly in favor of the tactics that he's using. Solidly. And the Slater comes in. He climbs that rope. It's the driving elbow to the head. There's one, there's two, there's three, and falls are even.
And the winner, ladies and gentlemen, of the second fall in 3 minutes, Dick Slater.
So Dick Slater takes this fall, which means
1 minute rest period.
that when we come back, we'll have the third and deciding fall. The man who wins that will be the world's heavyweight champion. And the man who wins that fall will also face Junkyard Dog in the Sam Houston Coliseum on Friday, May 14th, along with a raft of other matches, with the fence match with Tommy Rich and Gino Hernandez in a battle to the death, with the Indian strap match, with the gang war, with the Mil Mascaras and Manny Fernandez explosion. But we'll be back in a moment. Right now, let's have this word from the studio.
5 seconds.
5
4,
seconds.
3, 2, 1, bell.
And Bockwinkel never did get up to his feet, but he got down pretty fast too, I'll tell you. And he is getting a tremendous kicking and mauling as he goes now for the pile driver. And came down, and Nick Bockwinkel is going to, well, I was going to say he's going to be losing his title to the hold, the pile driver, but as he gets off on the floor, he is looking for that respite, and Dick Slater pounces on top of him, and here comes Dick back in the ring. Bockwinkel outside. Here he comes. This match reaching a climax here. The lift and the drop, and oh man, Slater on top. There's one, there's two, and Bockwinkel manages to bounce out of the trouble. Slater with confidence moves in again. A backbreaker? No, he dropped him on his side. Tried to be a rib breaker, and Bockwinkel is taken out. He goes now for the twisting toe hold, spinning toe hold, and as Slater tried to hang on, he was pounded across the head with telling and effective blows. The Slater moves in, and down goes referee Jack Howell. He smashed into him and smashed into him hard. Bockwinkel. No, it's in behind. It's a small package as Slater rolls him up there, and as Bockwinkel comes out from underneath, there's two, there's three. So it was two on Bockwinkel, but there
And the winner,
was a
ladies and
quick
gentlemen,
exchange.
1 minute and 53
And
seconds
the
for
winner
the third fall, and still
is Nick
the
Bockwinkel,
world's
still
heavyweight champion, Nick
and
Bockwinkel.
belt goes to him, and he will defend it against Junkyard Dog on May 14th. And Slater is upset, and Slater is angry and hauls off to knock him kicking. And that does not change the verdict. The verdict is still the winner, Nick Bockwinkel. We'll be back with you in a moment after this word from the studio.